Hey guys, I'm Isaac and welcome back to Isaac Reviews 2025. If you're from the UK, there's a pretty good chance you know who Robbie Williams is. And despite me being a filthy American myself, I'm vaguely familiar with his music, even if I haven't listened to that much of it. Regardless, we live in an era of biopics based on famous musicians, so here we are with Better Man. Now, there were two things about this film before it came out that piqued my interest. First was its director, Michael Gracie, whose only other directorial credit thus far was The Greatest Showman. It was an okay movie, I guess, I don't know. It had some good songs, but otherwise it's nothing special. Either way, I was interested to see how he'd fare directing another musical about a famous person, which brings me to my second point. That being how Robbie Williams chose to go about presenting himself. In short, he's a CGI monkey. This is because he considers himself less evolved than everyone else, so I guess that already sets it apart from most other musician biopics. And considering the strong critical reception it's been getting, it's safe to say that I was very interested in Better Man, which is surprising since January tends to not be a good month for movies. Thankfully, this was an exception. It tells the story of British singer-songwriter Robbie Williams, his family life, his initial success with the boy band Take That, and the difficulties he faced in his personal life, mainly with addiction and depression. Like I said earlier, this is extremely unique compared to most other musician biopics, and that's especially apparent in the presentation. Sure, it follows a bit of a familiar biopic format, and some scenes go on longer than they needed to, but it's 100% worth watching for the experience alone. And that is especially true about the musical numbers. Not only do they do a solid job moving the story forward, but the choreography is top-notch, the production design is excellent, and the visual presentation is extremely creative, especially with the main character. Him being a monkey actually works really well for this movie, and the CGI work done by Weta FX was phenomenal, where they were able to strike a perfect balance of being weird but not uncanny. The other big highlight of Better Man would definitely be the performances. Robbie Williams is just as amazing of an actor as he is a singer, and the actors he stars alongside, like Steve Pemberton, Kate Mulvaney, and Alison Steadman, also knocked it out of the park. But speaking of Williams, that does bring me to something that may be a turnoff for some viewers beyond the heavy discussions of subjects like depression and substance abuse, which is that the people in this film aren't very likable. But surprisingly enough, I wasn't too bothered by that. This is especially true regarding Williams and the difficulties he faced in his life, and while it's definitely true that he did some bad things, the movie seems to be aware of his flaws, and I still wanted to see him improve after everything. And seeing that happen in the end was really nice. The same can be said about his father Peter, where he's very distant, but is still sympathetic enough for me to care about him. I do wish we got to see more of him and Robbie trying to reconcile leading up to their big performance at the end of the film, but I appreciate what we got anyway. Overall, Better Man is a really solid film, even if it wasn't quite as good as I was hoping it could be. While some aspects of the writing and characterizations could have been better, it's a thoroughly engaging watch with exceptional visuals and a strong portrayal of the downsides of being famous. I know it's unfortunately been lagging behind at the box office, but if you want a good movie to watch while you're waiting for Dogman, this is definitely worth checking out. Better Man may not be better than an 8 out of 10, but I'm still glad I was able to see it. And my next review will be for another movie with man in the title, Wolfman. I mean, it's slightly better than most of Blumhouse's recent output, but it's still not all that good. So if you want to see that video and others like it, then consider subscribing to the Isaac Carthy channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.